Hello, in this tutorial we are going to install and use Docker on Ubuntu. So Docker is an application that makes it simple and easy to run application processes in a container, which are like virtual machines, only more portable, more resource friendly, and more dependent on the host operating system. There are two methods for installing Docker on Ubuntu. One method involves installing on an existing installation of the operating system. The other involves spinning up a server with a tool called Docker Machine that auto installs Docker on it. But in this tutorial, you'll learn how to install and use it on an existing installation of Ubuntu 16.04 or 14.04. Okay? So let's just install Docker. Let's update the package database first. So what for that we need to do sudo apt-get update. Okay. After you've installed this, you have to add the GPG key for the official Docker repository to the system. Okay. So I've already have it here, the GPG key. I'll put it in the comment section so you'll be able to copy and paste. But I'll just copy it from here. So as I said, when you're done with the installation here, you just go ahead and paste this. Okay. Awesome. After that, what you have to do, you have to add the Docker repository to apt resource. Okay. Something else that you have to just do. I forgot to put it here. So you have to install, you have to basically, sorry, I can just copy it, I can just type it for you so it will be make it easier to, you don't have to copy and paste it so much. Okay, so in order to add the Docker repository to apt sources, you have to do this. So sudo apt get apt add repository. Okay, we do that. HTTPS. We do apt.docker project.org. Yeah. Repo. Ubuntu. Main. Sorry. Main. Okay, so it's done. So now update the package database with the Docker packages from the newly added repo. So what you have to type right now is this. So apt-get update. So update this again. And also we have to make sure that we are about to install from the Docker repo instead of the default Ubuntu repo, right? So we're just going to do it from Docker. So we have to do apt cache policy for Docker engines, okay? Okay, so let's do this now. Apt cache policy Docker engine. Okay, so notice that the Docker engine is not installed, right? It's not installed, but the candidate for installation is from the Docker repository for Ubuntu 16.04. The Docker engine version number might be different, of course. So now you have to go ahead and install Docker engine. Sudo apt-get install Docker engine. Okay. So Docker should now be installed in a couple of minutes. The daemon started and the process enabled to start on boot. Okay. Then we'll go and check the status to see if it's running or not. Okay. Okay, it's being set up. Okay, so it's done. So as I said, Docker should now be installed. So the daemon started and the process enabled to start on boot. Now we can check that it's running or not here. Okay. So system control status. Okay. So like, as you can see, it's active and running. So installing Docker now gives you not just the Docker service, which is daemon, but also Docker command line utility or the Docker client. So we'll explore how to use Docker command later in this tutorial, of course. But for now, as you can see, it's running. Okay. So now using the Docker command. So with Docker installed and working, now it's the time to become familiar with the command line utility. So using Docker consists of passing it a chain of options and commands followed by arguments. So basically this is the command that you have to, so you have like Docker, then you have the option, then you have the command, then you have the arguments. Okay? So to view all available subcommands, you just basically type Docker. Okay? So when you type Docker, you see all the subcommands for it. Okay? It will be a huge list. Okay? For example, you do like Docker await help. It will show you exactly what it does. Okay? To view system-wide information about Docker, you can just go ahead and type Docker info. It will show you a wide information about Docker. Okay? So working with Docker images now. So Docker containers are run from Docker containers are run from Docker images, right? So by default, it pulls these images from Docker Hub, so a Docker registry managed by Docker, the company behind the Docker project, of course, right? So anybody can build and host their Docker images on Docker Hub. So most applications and Linux distributions you'll need to run Docker containers have images that are hosted on Docker Hub, okay? So to check whether you can access and download images from Docker Hub, you can simply type this command, so docker run hello world. Let's say it doesn't find it locally on your machine, so it's like accessing Docker Hub and getting it from front. Okay. So it says Docker is working. As you can see, hello from Docker. This message shows that your installation appears to be working correctly. Okay. You can even search for images available on Docker Hub by using the Docker command with the search subcommand. Okay. For example, you can do this. You can do Docker search Ubuntu. As you can see, it will show you all the. It will crawl Docker Hub and return a listing of all images whose name match the search string. So in this case, the output will be similar to this one. As I said, Docker search Ubuntu. Okay. So in the official column, as you can see here, OK indicates an image built and supported by the company behind the project. Okay, so once you've identified the image that you would like to use, you can download it to your computer using the pull subcommand like this. So we're gonna just basically go ahead and install this. So it's named Ubuntu. So you use pool docker pool Ubuntu. So it's using the default tag, which is latest. Okay. So we'll just wait for it for a second to download and pull. It's gonna download, extract, and pull. And of course, after an image has been downloaded, you may then run a container, basically, because you're downloading a container using the downloaded image with the run subcommand. Okay, you're downloading the image, then after that, you can run the container. So depending on your network speed, this might be different for individual. So for some people, it might be faster. Okay, so as you can see, it's done. So after, as I said, after an image has been downloaded, you may then run a container using the downloaded image, which is the Ubuntu, with the run subcommand. So here's the thing, if an image has not been downloaded when Docker is executed with the run subcommand, the Docker client will first download the image, then run a container using it, okay? So let's just do Docker run Ubuntu now, okay? To see the images that have been downloaded to your computer, you can just do Docker images. Just type Docker images. As you can see, we have two image ID. One is for Hello World and the other one is for Ubuntu. Okay, and these are the size, tag, latest, and Ubuntu and Hello World. Okay. Now we're going to run a Docker container. So the Hello World container you ran in the previous example, of course, is an example of a container that runs and exits. Okay, after emitting a test message, it's just done. It's gone. Okay. Containers, however, can be much more useful than that. Okay, and they can be interactive. We can use them a lot. So after all, they're similar to virtual machines, only more, as I said, resource friendly. So as an example, let's run a container using the latest image of Ubuntu. Okay, the combination of the -i and t switches give you interactive shell access into the container. Okay, so when you do docker run I and t Ubuntu, now as you can see, okay, the command prompt should change to reflect the fact that you're now working inside the container and should take this form. Okay. Now you can run any commands inside it. You can just do, because so basically I have Ubuntu, and this is a Ubuntu container, so Ubuntu on Ubuntu. Okay, you can do a lot of things. For example, you can download, let's say, sudo apt-get vim. Oops, sorry. Let's just do another one. Maybe it just doesn't have apt-get install. Why? Node.js maybe. Able to get package Node.js, so it doesn't have it. Because I'm running a live. Okay, so as you can see, this one has cat. This is the cat. This is the etc password file. Okay. As you can see, it's just a Ubuntu with all the folders being boot there. Let's see, home library. For example, when I go to home, let's just see there's nothing there. Library, for example, cd. So it's actually a Ubuntu image, but as you can see, it's more resource friendly. It's more fast. It's faster. It's just easier to use, and it's just it works perfectly fine. So when you start up a Docker image, you can create, modify, and delete files just like you can do it with a virtual machine. Okay, the changes that you make will only apply to that container, just to that container. So you can start and stop it, but once you destroy it with the docker rm, which is remove command, the changes will be lost for good. Okay, so in this section, I'll show you how to save the state of a container as a new Docker image. So after installing, like for example, anything inside the Ubuntu container, so you now have a container running off an image. But the container is different from the image you used to create. Okay, something got changed. So to save the status of the container as a new image, first exit from it. Okay, you have to just exit from it. See? That's it. Okay. So then commit to the changes to a new Docker image instance using the command that I'm going to type. Okay. So what you have to do, you have to type Docker commit, and I'm gonna explain. Let's say, what did you do to the image? Then -a, author name. Let's say for author name, let's just put my name. Let's just say Rohan. Change it. Okay, a little bit more. And then you have to add the container ID. Okay, the container ID is this one. Oops. Let me just type it again. What did you do to the image? -a. So as I said, you add the container ID, which is 9A F2E F9CD7A6. Okay, this is the image ID or the container ID. You can even do the container. It's better to put the container ID here. Yes. So I'll put container ID again one more time. So 9A F2 EF. For some reason I thought I was doing the hello world. 9 CD7A6. Okay. And the repository. What is the repository? Ubuntu. And let's call this new image. Okay, it's just giving it a new image. So now when you commit an image, the new image is saved locally, that is on your computer. Okay, which is if it's running Ubuntu. Later in this tutorial, I'm gonna tell you exactly how to push an image to a Docker registry like Docker Hub, so that it may be accessed and used by you or others. Okay. So now let's just do another Docker images. As you can see, this is the new Docker images that you've changed, okay? 38 seconds ago, okay? As you can see, Docker Ubuntu new image is the new image now. So you run this command. So after you've made your changes, then you should be able to see the new one. So if you want to list your Docker containers after using Docker for a while, for sure you can get to the Docker containers. You can type Docker PS. Okay. If you want to see all the containers active, inactive, you have to just type Docker PS name. So it will show you everything, all the options. Okay. So if you want to stop a running or active container, what you have to do, you have to just basically type Docker stop the container ID. For example, do this. Docker stop. Okay. So this is stop now. Exit it. And I should tell you, like, basically, Docker will just create like or random names for you. Okay. So it will be easier for you. So if you want to push Docker images to a Docker repository, what you have to do, you have to create a private Docker registry on Ubuntu. First of all, you have to just create an account on Docker Hub. Just go for Google for Docker Hub, okay? Then when you log into Docker Hub, for example, just do this. This is the command that you have to use. After you have created your account, just go here and type docker login -u. Then Docker registry username. So if you specify the correct password, okay, authentication should succeed, okay? Then you may push your own image using Docker push, okay? So here's the format. So after you've created your account on Docker Hub, you type this command, okay? For example, if you just type this, you see it will ask for a password, okay? Get your username, it will ask for your password, and then what you have to do, you have to just Docker push, then you just do the Docker registry name, so here's the, so this is your username and your Docker, as I said, image name. That's how you push it to the Docker Hub repository, okay? Push for repository Docker something. Image does not exist locally with the tag Docker repository. Of course it doesn't. But here's the format, okay? So you do Docker push, Docker registry username. This is the username that you have created on Docker Hub. And this is the image name, for example, this one that you're trying to push to the Docker Hub. Please let me know if you have any questions in the comment section, and I'll be glad to answer your questions. Thank you very much for watching.